Da ba dee doo da 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 dee da. Ba da dee doo da 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 dee da. It's another Grelf morning with me and you. Ba 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 no no. Hey everybody, trying out some new theme songs. I don't know if those are the best, but they certainly aren't the worst. The worst would be something like bam, 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 bam. Actually, I like that. Never mind. Bam, 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 bam. Growth morning. That's pretty good. I was trying to be annoying, but I think I might have just made a bop. But good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. It's actually pretty cold where I am. It doesn't usually get super cold in the Enchanted Forest. It's mostly temperate year-round, but it's a little cold. There's a little snowfall yesterday, which was pretty. I was sitting with the squirrels in a tree, just watching the snow come down. Fun fact: everybody assumes that squirrels are just squirrels. They're not. They're not just squirrels. They do have squirrel tails, but they also have kind of big buck teeth and bunny ears and kind of a radish body. I guess they're sort of squirrel shaped. Maybe if you just imagine a squirrel, maybe a bit bigger, a bit bigger than your average squirrel, like groundhog sized, with floppy bunny ears. Well, floppy when they're sad, not always floppy. Hopefully, never floppy. Alert when they're standing straight up. A lot of emotion can be expressed with the face of a squirrel. But to absolutely no one. That's what I wanted to clarify. Now nobody's in here because they were like, "Hey, you're supposed to start at 10 a.m., buddy. What's this 10:30 business? I'm sorry, okay? I needed to make sure I had my coffee. If I ain't got my acorn coffee at the beginning of the day, I'm a wreck. All right? Had some cool stuff come out today. Let me go ahead and pin this to the top. It's a Grelf morning. Here we go. So, me and Bonzo Finance, not Bonzo the monkey. Me and Bonzo Finance been making these videos. The first one finally came out to the public, made this a while ago. It's an explainer series where our boy Garang the orangutans, I'm calling them. I don't know if that's flattering. Personally, I like orangutans. I think of them as, the gentlemen of the jungle. They seem pretty chill. They seem pretty cool. Definitely a top tier ape, in my opinion. Might be my favorite ape, though gorillas are pretty hard to beat, right? Anyway, my point was that he's cool. He explains stuff to me, DeFi concepts, and I try to learn. It's pretty wholesome. Pretty wholesome. The first video came out today. There's more coming. There's more coming. There should be one every week for a good bit. We try to do the recording every week, and I don't know about you guys, but my voice kind of sounded different in that first video. I don't know what the deal was. I did get a new microphone for the second recording, so I'm hoping that was the issue. I'm on my new microphone. I'm hoping that was the issue. We recorded it on Riverside streaming, if any of you guys are familiar with that. Typically, I like to do stuff on StreamYard. We recorded on Riverside streaming. There were some audio issues. I don't know if it was my fault or not. Hopefully it wasn't my fault. But yeah, there wasn't as much of the deep resonance that you normally hear with me. Maybe I was nervous. I don't know. But the future stuff, the future videos I'll be doing with Bonzo that you'll see, hopefully that's different. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot of things. I forget what the next one is. The first one is the HCS 20, which is a little hard to say. I've got kind of big teeth, so any letters with like S's or whatever is tough. It's tough for me. I did forget something. I forgot to do our simultaneous slurp. Now, today's theme was bored yet? But I guess considering like nobody showed up to this stream, I think the answer is clear. I think the answer is yes. We're bored with Grelf Morning. Which, hey, I get it. Let me see if I can share it some places. Maybe someone will pop in. It's a little weird doing it just by myself in a dark Twibber room. Let's see. Yeah, that's all the sharing I'll do. Hey, if nobody pops in, that doesn't mean I ain't going to say anything, right? Let me tell you a story. I'll wait for at least one human being to be in here before I do the simultaneous slurp. There's a little guy. There's a little guy I found the other day in the Enchanted Forest. There's a little dude. I found a little hedgehog. Yeah. The other day, I went to a mulberry bush. I don't know if you're familiar with mulberry bushes, but I went over to a mulberry bush, and there he was, just a little hedgehog guy. Now, he told me, of course, in hedgehog speak, which sounds like this. Oh, there's a squirrel barking in the background if you can hear that. Hold on a second. Yeah, so the hedgehog, he told me in hedgehog speak, couldn't speak English, that his name was Sonic, real original. I'm sure you're thinking, don't we have enough hedgehogs named Sonic, right? So at the beginning of the conversation, I was already like, all right, buddy. And then he went, which roughly translated, translates to, I used to be a phantom that convinced itself it was a hedgehog, and now I have to live this life. I didn't really know how to respond to that personally. That was kind of a lot. It was earlier today. It was, crack of dawn, really early in the morning. I didn't know how to respond to that. So I just said, all right. And he then said, which roughly translates to, can you tell him about this on Grelf Morning? And I said, okay. I didn't know how he knew about Grelf Morning. There's just a hedgehog in a bush. But I said, okay, and that's why I'm talking about it. So yeah, me and Bonds are going to do more of those videos. Hopefully you like them. Hopefully some of the audio issues get ironed out as we go forward. I don't trust that Riverside streaming. I don't trust it. I feel like it cut out my lower register. I don't know. Just didn't sound right to me. Yeah, but I did get a new microphone. Now that we have some human beings in here, we can do our ritual, our well, it used to be daily. Now it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Ritual, the simultaneous slurp. What's the simultaneous slurp? Well, I'll tell you. We all slurp together as a family. I count down 3, 2, 1, go, and we all grab our favorite beverage. For me today, and usually it's some acorn coffee. But it does not have to be caffeinated. It can be any kind of beverage. And after I count down, we all slurp together, and hopefully the combined power of us slurping calls in the Chinese whales to slurp H-bar and make everything poompa. Okay, here we go. This is the simultaneous slurp. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that was a big boy. That was a big slurp. I needed that, you know. I just got thrown into this day. I don't know about you guys. I got a lot of stuff to take care of. Wednesdays are tough. You know, you get to the middle of the week and you're like, I'm just not at the end yet. I can't be like, oh, well, it'll have to wait till next week. But you're not at the beginning, so you can't procrastinate, really. It's tough. It's tough. All the hope from starting a new week is just gone. It's been dashed. But I hope it's good for you. I hope everybody has a beautiful Wednesday and has a beautiful week. Now, the theme today is bored yet? And that's the theme because H-Bar ain't been doing much interesting, right? Not a lot of tokens. Been doing a whole lot of interesting stuff. And it's funny. It also kind of ties into Grelf, the token, in general. Because when people don't want to be excited about something, it don't matter what you do. You know, something I've found with this space, if people are just not interested in being excited about anything crypto related, you could be like, oh, Grelf's on Binance, baby. And like a few people will be like, wow, that's pretty cool. Everybody else should just ignore it. They're really good at ignoring, you know. I was talking to, you know, my internet friends today, you know, Grelf has a lot of achievements. A lot of, you know, these new meme coins could only hope to accomplish 1/8 of the things. But people are like, well, you know, I'm not really interested right now, you know, maybe later. Everybody's kind of bored, you know, bored with H-Bar. You know, we were really excited for a while that we're in the 30 range. We should still be excited. But we get bored pretty easy in this space. We were all really excited about Trump getting elected. And then, like, as soon as he was inaugurated, everybody's like, all right, well, oh, well. Even the outrage media, right, is kind of like, yeah, I mean, we don't like him, but, you know, it ain't that big of a deal. I feel a general malaise, or in other words, a significant ennui has been spreading over to the entire planet. I don't know why. Maybe it's because everybody's tired after the holidays, but it's hard to find some excitement, right? It's hard to find a little excitement. And because of the type of space we're in, you know, excitement begets excitement. So it's a bit of a catch-22, right? Which is a phrase that's about if you try to catch 22 geckos, it's going to be really hard to catch them because they'll wiggle out. That's what catch-22 is in reference to. So it's a bit of a catch-22. It's hard to wrangle all them geckos together. And it's hard to generate excitement without excitement, right? Where's that wellspring? Where's it come from? Well, I don't really know. Sometimes it seems random. Sometimes it's from other trends, feeding into other trends. You know, if you want someone to pay attention to your project, you think, oh, well, I'll just post about them all day. It doesn't necessarily do anything, you know? I mean, Grelf's a bridgeable asset. That's something not a lot of people can claim. Are people excited about it? No. Grelf is also on CoinMarketCap and has been on CoinMarketCap for like over a year. Does anyone care? No, not really. We're too bored. Grelf has a, you know, VR avatar that does collaborations, has interviewed the previous president of Hedera, current president of the the Hedera Foundation, and is doing a informational video series with Bonzo Finance. Does anyone care? No, not really. No. Grelf has managed liquidity managed by Amplify, which was employed by the H-Bar Foundation, then H-Bar Foundation, to seed liquidity of the top tokens on Hedera. Does anyone care? No. Grelf essentially has about 1 million Grelf locked in that liquidity management in the V2 pool, in addition to all the Grelf that is locked on DaVinci, which is about $400,000, almost $500,000. Does anyone care? No, we're bored. Grelf has had partnerships with Earthlings. Grelf is in at least 2 Hedera Vibio games. Probably going to be added to another one soon enough, little alpha for you. Does anyone care? No, they do not. The Grelf staking program, which ran for 6 months, was the most successful and the most lucrative staking program ever run on Hedera. Does anyone care? I think you might know the answer. No, they don't. They do not. And that's okay. You know, I'm not really bitter about it. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. People chase shiny new thing. You know, running a meme coin long term is difficult. It's very difficult because the people who buy meme coins don't really like holding meme coins for very long. They like shifting to new stuff, going for chasing that big new pump, chasing another one. So when you run a meme coin long term like me, it's tough. It's a challenge. But I'm a long term kind of guy. I'm a slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. And this strategy has benefited me many, many times already. So I'm cool with it. It's about the, you know, being the Grelf himself at the end of the day. It's not so much about monies, or else I wouldn't still have so much Grelf. I don't really care that much about making it rich off of Grelf. I just want more people to think he's funny. I mean, think I'm funny. You know, it's weird having a token named after yourself. You know, I wouldn't recommend it. You know, if your name's John, I wouldn't recommend making John token. Because when people say John token sucks, it kind of just makes you feel bad. Because, you know, you're John. So, I'm sticking with this token, never going to make another one. But I wouldn't recommend naming it after yourself because it can be tough on the ego. But yeah, people, if they don't want to care about something, they won't. You can't really force them. You can try marketing. There's a lot of scammers in marketing. I did run Twitter ads last week and the week previous. Cost a few $100s. Now, let me ask you this. I ran these ads. They link directly to the Grelf site where you can, buy Grelf, learn about Grelf. Do you think it mattered? Let me ask you this. I spent hundreds of dollars on Twitter ads, had people click the link to the Grelf site. Do you think spending that money made a difference at all? I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. No, it didn't. Which is something I had talked about previously. But I thought I'd give it another shot, just in case. No, traditional marketing does not work, especially when you're in a niche community, You can't just say, all right, new person, go buy Grelf on Saucer Swap. Even if they know what Grelf is, they're like, how do I get H-bar? How do I get that over there? There's a lot of steps. People don't just like fly in and grab Grelf. People who are already know everything, are already attuned to things, can obviously do that. But it's not easy for the average person. So traditional marketing, which targets traditional regular folks, not very useful. Now, why are we bored? We can talk about this a little bit. Well, we live in a time where we are getting constantly jammed in the brain with a needle of stimuli. Constantly, right? We're constantly seeking stimuli. We are constantly receiving stimuli. We are part of an ecosystem that, half of it is tied in gambling psychology, We can say investment, but it's not like we're putting money into like starting a restaurant. We're putting money into random abstracted value tokens, hoping number go up. And when number go down, we get sad, or maybe we buy more. And then we're more invested in random abstract number token, you know? So we're constantly assaulted by messages and emotions and things telling us to do different things. It's no wonder people are fatigued, right? It's no wonder people are like, man, at the end of the day, maybe I should just sell all this for USDC and just sit there and just do the Coinbase staking. I get it. Especially if you've been here for multiple years, it's draining on the psyche. It's draining on the psyche. I mean, taking breaks helps, but that doesn't address our problem, which is we want more engagement. We want more excitement. I'd like more excitement with Grelf. I'd like more excitement with HBAR. I'd like more excitement with our ecosystem. What do we do about that? I don't know. It's a tough situation, right? We've pumped, but we have not seen a correlation really in we've seen some increased use of the network, right? But whenever a new thing launches like Meme Job, or when Hashpack did their token sale and stuff like that, whenever we have something like that, there's like a little bit of an uptick always, but then it kind of fades. I kind of feel like it's just gonna fade. We didn't get a massive uptick in use. We didn't get a massive uptick in wallet creation. It's pretty consistent, right? There was no outlier with the big pump that we got. So it says to me, and plus like a lot of the bleeding of all these tokens shifting into each other says to me that it's mostly out. There's new people. There's always new people coming in, but it's mostly the same dudes. So it's hard to get excitement when it's the same jaded dudes that have been here for forever. And the new guys coming in don't know anything about anything. So whenever they try to be excited about something, everybody's just like, oh, whatever, Dumbo, you don't know what you're talking about. So we're in a tough situation. Here's what I would like. I can't always give you solutions, Maybe Hedera should pay me to be a consultant. I can tell them exactly how much moss they should have. Here's what I'd like. I'd like way more communication on the general vision of Hedera. Like, I don't know what their big plan is. They've done a lot of pivoting. They're doing a lot of, we're caring more about DeFi now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can say you're caring more about a thing, and then you can say you're caring more about another thing. How does that fit into a broad vision? What's the broad vision? And sometimes they wheel Lehman out to say, like, in 50 years, Hashgraph will be post-quantum compatible, and we'll be able to predict the movement of starships and quantum galaxies in the ether. That's not useful to me. I like Lehman, he's cool, but that's not really useful to me. I don't really need to know what's going to happen in 50 years. I don't even know if I'll be around in 50 years. Maybe a big rock will fall and squish me. I don't know. There has not been a clear communication of what the vision is for Hedera. They're like, we like enterprise. Okay. What specifically are you trying to accomplish by being an enterprise-focused network? What does that mean for you? How does that align with the company goals? What are the company goals? What are your goals? We want to be the network for enterprise. That's cool. But what is the vision for this company? I want to be a thing is not a vision. I want to be a freaking giant dragon. That would be great. I could fly over a town. I could put a bunch of gold coins on my belly and lay in treasure all day in my hoard. That'd be great. That's not really a vision for my life. That's not really a projection of where my life's going. I would like that for Hedera. Charles has been doing some interviews. He seems nervous. I don't know if you've picked up on this. Maybe this is paranoid, right? Anything I say, take it with a grain of salt. You're listening to a weird Grelf, right? You're listening to a weirdo Grelf right now. So take everything with a grain of salt, maybe even a large granule of salt. But a lot of the recent interviews, Charles just seems kind of nervous. I don't know what the situation was with moving him to the Hedera Foundation. I don't know what's going on over there. But more importantly, I don't know what's going on with Hashgraph, previously Swirls. I don't know what's going on with Hedera. I don't know. There's a certain point where you can't keep saying, the work continues. Like, we need a check-in. They bring Lehman out, and he's just like, Hashgraph is this great technology, and it can do so many things. And really, what I'd like with Hashgraph is for it to be around for 100 years. And okay. Like, Lehman's he's not in the board meeting listening to all the boring garbage. I need the boring garbage summary. I need the minutia. I need the meeting minutes. I need someone to tell me, summarize a general idea of where Hedera is heading in the next year. Because here's the thing. If I thought absolutely nothing was going on and they were just pretending, then I wouldn't be saying this. You know, I want Hedera to do well because I hold a lot of H-bar, right? If I thought they were doing absolutely nothing and nothing was going on, then I'd be like, well, they're probably doing something real cool. But I don't think that. I think they're going to do something. I don't really need to spin this in a positive way. I think they are working on positive stuff. You need to tell us. You need to tell us generally what you're working on. You don't have to say, we're working with Elon Musk and the new administration to make everybody rich. You don't need to say that. You don't need to worry about, Gary's gone. All right, Gary's gone now. You don't need to worry about Gary breathing down your neck with his Dorito dust coming off of his breath. We don't know what you're doing. Everybody's playing with meme coins because they're like, well, I mean, H-bar doesn't seem to like have much to do with us, right? We can't really do much with that because it kind of pumped without retail being considered, right? It kind of pumped without us doing much of anything. So we're all kind of like, I wonder why this pumped. It can't just be the US crypto thing. It can't just be that. Because the amount of money that's flowing in, like, it can't just be that. Maybe it's just that for XRP, but they've got like a big history, right? They've got a history with the SEC. They got a history with the US government. You know, they really benefit from that narrative. Most people didn't even know what Hedera was. Most people didn't even know what H-bar was. So we can't just chalk it up to that one thing. Obviously, that's a factor. But it is my opinion, based on little to no information, that big institutional investors are coming into Hedera for a reason. I would like to know what it is specifically that Hedera is communicating or working on that would lead to that. Why? Why is it important? If retail didn't help pump it, why is it important? I'll tell you why. Because if you give the community a general vision, right, for what your network is and what it's working on and your goals and what's important to you as a company, here's the little secret. We won't be as bored. We won't be as bored, and we can communicate that to people, to family, to friends, to fellow internet weirdos. and possibly to institutions, possibly to enterprise. A lot of people who are in Hedera work in places. I work in the Enchanted Forest, but a lot of other people work in real jobs with real corporations. You know, give us a vision. We could what do you say now? If you work in a company, what do you say now? You say HBAR is the token for Hedera. It is a cryptocurrency, and it's work for enterprise. If you work for an enterprise, they're like, okay, so it's a crypto that cares about enterprise. All right, what does that have to do with me? We need specifics. I'm getting a little tired of the narrative because it's bad marketing. I'm getting a little tired of the narrative. Hedera can be used for anything. I'll give you an example why this is a bad thing to say. If you were in class, we all went to school, right? Well, I didn't, but I've heard it. I've heard tell of it. If you're in class, you're in middle school. You're sitting at your little desk. And your teacher says, we've got a new announcement. This is a new project that you're going to have to do. It's worth 50% of your grade. 50% of your grade. And, you're a student that takes your classes seriously. You're not a class clown. You care about your studies. You're like, oh, this is a big deal. 50% of my grade. And the teacher says what the prompt is. And it's, you can write about anything. If you take your studies seriously and you hear that, you should be terrified. Because if someone says you can write about anything, it is really hard to find something to write about. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? You can do anything. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to do nothing. You tell me I can do anything, I'm going to do nothing. That's the easiest thing for me to choose to do. When you give me limitless options. Limitless options is bad marketing. Because you're not leading anyone anywhere. It's almost the worst type of vision. I want Hedera to be used for everything and anything. Okay, it's going to be used for nothing then. It's going to be used for nothing. Unless it is a foundational part of life and the universe, like air or gravity, it's going to be used for nothing if you say that. If we're not already all using it, and you say, it's going to be used for everything, and that's your vision, no one's using that. That gives us no information. You are not leading your target market to do any action. What's the call to action there? It's a bleeding edge, incredibly complicated, new, which is scary to enterprises, technology. And you're saying you can use it for everything? Stop it. Stop it. We need specifics. It's really good at managing Excel spreadsheets. Tell me that. I don't think it is. That'd be nice. But you need to start communicating very, very specific things that people can use it for. Because you start putting out a lot of, if it can be used for anything and everything, which is impossible, by the way. That's another reason it's a stupid thing to keep repeating. Even if it could, you would need to set out specific examples so people aren't extremely overwhelmed, because you want people's attention, right? You don't want them to be bored. You want them to be able to focus on something specifically and focus their energy on something specifically. How do you get malaise? You overload someone with stimuli. You overload someone with the possibilities of what may come, what could happen. Because if you can't focus on anything specific, you can't direct your energy on anything specific, you get overwhelmed, you get bored, you do nothing. You do nothing. So if you want your community to be energized, if you want institutions and enterprises to be energized, you need to start fixing your messaging. You need to streamline it. You need to make it simple, but you also need to make it specific. The time of having a really cool tagline is over, right? It's over. Taglines don't last in people's brains anymore. You need to constantly send out information, hoping that a brain takes that information in, at least for a little bit. So if you keep sending out specific, targeted information on how to use the Hedera network, the hash graph, as some say, for specific things, and that it's really good at specific things, then I think a lot of the people who need to hear that will get that message. Right now, we're not getting that. Have you tried reading an article about Hedera recently? If you haven't, and you want to kind of see what I'm talking about, I would go do that. Go look at a recent article about what Hedera is, because a lot of people are learning about it for the first time. Go read about it. Because pretty much it just says this. Hedera Hashgraph is a little different than a typical blockchain, and it's really good. It's fast and stuff. Fast compared to what? Fast at doing what? It's really efficient. Efficient compared to what? Efficient at doing what? They never say. They never say. We get the taglines. I'm glad they're like not harping about being the greenest cryptocurrencies in the market. I'm glad they're not doing that anymore. Like, who cares? No one cared about that. That never moved the needle once. Not one time. Glad they shut up about that. You need to tell people specifically what your network's good at. You can't just say it's really fast. Because really, that's just the same as a guy in your playground who's talking about how cool Sonic is. Right? Why do you like Sonic? Oh, he's really fast. He's so fast. That's us. That's us. I think we need to take some time and realize that's us. Well, they're so fast. No, but like, why do you like it? What specifically does it accomplish? I don't know if you're listening. He's really fast. It's not enough. It's not enough to just be fast. I'm sorry, Sonic fans. It's not enough to just be fast if you're an adult. If you're a little baby with a little diaper, wearing a little diaper, walking around your playpen or the sandbox, maybe just being fast is enough. But we need very specific things to start telling people. The community is your arms and legs. You know, we can help spread your message to places you might not expect. But what's the message? What's the vision? Hedera's fast and efficient? No, we need, like, what is it fast at? How fast comparatively? What is it trying to do? What is your company trying to do? I think that's enough. I think that's enough on my soapbox. That was a bigger rant than I thought. But the theme is, are you bored yet? We are bored. And I think a lot of it is the fault of people not motivating us. We don't have a lot to grab onto and screech about. It's been years of just saying that Hedera is the fastest one. Well, you should, of course, like the fastest one. How fast does something need to be? Does that matter? I think what matters is what it can be used for. And, you know, people can be a lot better at communicating that, is all I'm saying. If you want people to be energized about your company, you need to convey a thought out, fleshed out vision to the people who are invested already and already care. That's all. We're going to end this with another simultaneous slurp where I count down 3, 2, 1, go, and we all slurp together as a family. Sauce Con Kaiser, you might want to go when this ends, go and listen to the beginning. I'll just say that. But we're going to count down 3, 2, 1, go. We're all going to slurp together with our favorite beverage, whether you're listening now or listening later. And hopefully we'll call some more people to be invested in our little Hedera network and slurp with us. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, yeah. That's a good coffee. It's a little cold. It's a little cold at this point, which shows me that the Grelf morning is, I think we hit the 40-minute mark. You know, these are getting long. Originally, it was supposed to be 15, 20 minutes, but then you guys get me ranting. I know nobody said anything besides me, but for some reason, it's your fault. But I'd like to thank y'all for joining me. I'd like to thank y'all for slurping with me. And hope to see you next time. Next one will be on Friday. Hopefully we'll all have survived the week and had a good one. This has been another Grelf morning.